know.
That's funny.
That's funny. There is cows out there though, ain't there?
Yeah.
Big trucks full of bales. Hey guys, welcome back to O'Neill Family Farms. It's Saturday. I got Boss Man back there. Hey. We got a project today, don't we? What are we gonna work on?
My gator.
Yeah, we got special project Saturday going on here, so we're heading to the shop right now. So we're here and we're on special project Saturday, right, buddy? You want to show us what's wrong with your gator? Is it this one?
Maybe.
What is wrong here? See the crack there? Crack. This whole wheel's all cracked out up in there. So what did we get? Did we get a new one?
Lots of new ones.
Yeah, we found a new one. You did a number on that, buddy. What'd you hit?
I don't know.
How many miles you got on that thing here? Third, 7. Here. Are you excited on? Get it shoved all the way? Push it down. Good to go. Oh yeah. Don't hit Tom's car. Does this work a lot better? Kind of sticks out like a sore thumb with the yellow rim, but that's the only one we could find, wasn't it? Does it drive better?
No.
No? Does it pull to the left or right?
Oh, yeah.
We got to tear this down, tear everything off. Well, not everything, but all the stuff on the units to get to the Truvies and everything we're going to replace on it. So that is what we're going to maybe start doing today. We got the last of the strip tiller done. We went through all of it. So there's a lot of stuff right here that we don't want to get pinched when we hook up to this thing. So we kind of want to make sure these hoses aren't going to be in the way. Don't hook them coming up. That might be far enough out of the way. For those of you that aren't farmers or want to know, we call these 3 points just for simple reasons. Is there's 3 points. This is called a quick hitch. Usually before these came out, these have been out for a long time. This is where it hooks up. You usually only used your 3 point right here and you'd manually hook up each one. Well, quick hitches came out and they made it a lot simpler that you can just lift it up and then lock these down, and these well, they flip those out there to lock it in place. We have a hydraulic center link on this, which makes adjusting back and forth a lot easier. I wasn't quite square that time, so these you gotta be almost perfectly square. You back up. down and see if there's anything I screwed up. Looks okay on this side. We're parking pretty close back here, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't hit anything, you know, so I can prepare my story of what I'm going to tell my dad and brother if I did it. So I'm sure I can blame him on it somehow. That doesn't look like I hit any hoses. I'll take it into the heated side, and then I'll hook up like the wing so I can let it down and then I can start hooking it up. I don't really need to fully hook up this planter yet since we're just going through it, so that's what I'm going to do now. When you're pulling out of a shop, there's a lot of angles that if you turn too sharp you could hit something. These are fairly long machines, so you just want to make sure you're not going to hit anything, because we like to pack them in here tight. Well, when you do that, if you make any sudden turns you can whack something. Plus it seems like, I don't know if any of you guys' farms are like ours, over the winter time and over the summer, since we park these, people will tend to put stuff in the way. Maybe your guys' isn't like that. I know ours is. So one of the things I'm going to do to give me more space back there is to let it down. Gives me a little more gap in between the wheels and the hydraulics so I can plug them in easier. So now, when I let these down, I still want to make sure I don't want to pinch anything. That's kind of the setback of these mounted planters, is there's a little more opportunity for pinch points between the quick hitch and the tractor. Now these for sure, last year we sprayed everything off. It's just over storage, everything gets dusty. These aren't true Deere 1725 high-speed planters or whatever. We actually put these together ourselves. They're actually older 12-row bars that used to have boxes on them. Boxes being they had the 3-bushel boxes right here. What we did is took everything off, and these are retro kits right here. You can actually put these on. It's actually from here to here is what those retro kits are. And so everything from here back is off the old planter. The bars aren't quite as heavy as the new styles as well. If you notice, it's got the older 12-row frame, which we haven't had any troubles yet. The newer frames as well, the reason why we run weights is because it doesn't have the, what do you call it, the weight equalizer system on the bar that pushes down on it. So our simple solution was just to add weight, plus it still helps in no-till to actually have more weight. The other thing we had the guy do is he reinforced the mounting brackets there, so it's actually built more like a 16-row. Now this wing isn't rigid. These actually do flex. So right in here in this hinge point, it flexes, which helps us in our hills because we're definitely not level. And so if this was a rigid bar, it wouldn't work very well. But where this has actually a couple hinge points on it, it helps flex going through the hills. Also, this parallel linkage here flex up and down with the hydraulic downforce. And so that's something else we added on to the machine. The CCS box, this is only 36 bushel is what it's rated at. I wish we would have waited a little bit because now they make them with 50 bushel options, which the reason why we'd like a 50 bushel box is because usually a lot of your pro boxes that your seed come in are 50 bushel units. And so if the seed's small enough, sometimes you can get it all in there, but usually it's big enough, you usually have a few units left. I'm vlogging here. So we're gonna tear this down, but before we do, I'm gonna kind of show you some of the components and what their names are. So these guys up here, you'll hear me refer to these guys as fur openers. Just so these clean the residue out of the way in order for this True V to come along and create a little seed trench. And how you set your depth, as you can kind of see that guy right there, he'll go up and he'll hit that, and that's what sets your depth. And this guy right here goes back and forth, which moves that, and that's kind of how you set your depth on these, on how deep it's going to your True V is going to go, because this is going to right up here, and then that's how much further down those discs are going to open it. So that's kind of how you set your seed depth. These are your Packer wheels, and this is your tension on your Packer wheels. Things to kind of look at for wear points on them is right here. These are replaceable, and so there's going to be a little bit of slop in it, but you just kind of go along and see how much there actually is. Make sure those are within tolerances. Yeah, there's going to be more I'm sure I'm missing right now, but that's kind of the gist of what we're going to get started taking apart here. But to get to those True V's, you got to take all these gauge wheels off. These are what we call gauge wheels. I probably didn't say that, but we got to take all those off to get to the True V's, and then there's also scrapers in there that we'll have to take off and make sure they're fine as well. I'm gonna call that a day today, but we did get started tearing down. Tearing down isn't really the super hardest part, but there's a lot of inspecting that we go on and stuff, and I will show you how we kind of put some of these things back together, because there are things you gotta really watch out for. You gotta have all the right tolerances, measurements. The True V's got to touch right in the center. I mean, there's just a lot of little things to go on. This is one of the more important pieces of equipment on the farm, because you only get really one chance to put seed in the ground once, sometimes twice, but you don't really want to do that. The seed is pretty expensive that we put in the box, so you want it metered really well. Spacing's pretty important. There's a lot of things that are important anymore on these. Well, it's always been important, but just trying to push the envelope and everything here, trying to get yields right. And the reason why we do have these smaller but faster planters is because where we strip till, we found it was a lot easier to stay in that strip when we followed with the 12-row mounted. When we followed the 12-row strip tiller with the 12-row mounted stuff, but because before we used to have hitches that would steer the 24-row, and they'd all work to a degree, and it wasn't bad. It's just once we went to this, we actually sped up our planting a little bit, and we also I don't know, it's just quicker, and these really have done a great job of spacing and accuracy. It's kind of impressive. Plus, one of the benefits that we didn't quite realize before is on a lot of hillsides, when we're planting that old seed tube, it would kind of rattle down when you'd kind of get on seed. I can't really talk today, but when you'd get on hillsides, it would rattle down, and you notice whenever we would get on hillsides, our singulation on the monitors would kind of go haywire. Well, it's because that seed was rattling going down, but where these have brushes that carry them down this seed tube, it eliminates that. And so we get great singulation on side hills as well as level ground and things like that. So it's helped. And I noticed beans, it singulates them really well too. But no, you can make old planters run like tops too. So you don't have to have brand new equipment. You just have to have well maintained planters. That's kind of the key, is what we're getting. Because before this, I mean, these weren't nothing special, but they did a great job planting. So it's just one of the other things that we do on the farm during the cold season, I guess. So they've been working over here, so I just thought I'd kind of come over here and see what it's looking like. So the idea was to be able to dump this bin right here into any of these legs, so that's kind of why it's wying out like that. So it looks like it's coming together. They're not quite finished yet, but it's a big auger right there, but it's got a steep incline. So but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. So I appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.